Very good morning to all of you. On behalf of Institute Innovation Council, I wish you a very good morning and I extend a warm welcome to everyone present here in a certificate course on Entrepreneurship Development Program for students and faculty members of all VES institutes. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Principal Madam and trustee members on this show. A series of sessions are being planned in this course with the objectives to create awareness on innovation and entrepreneurship and the process of innovation, to spread awareness about government initiatives like national education policies and national innovation and startup policy. The program is scheduled from 4th to 26th December 2020. And the three eminent speakers for the second session are Mr. Amit Lokhande, Dr. Mushtaque Shaikh, and Dr. Anita Ayre. With due permission from IIC committee members, we are opening second session on a topic problem solving and ideation workshop. And for the same, we have a very young and dynamic research fellow, Mr. Amit Lokhande. He is currently pursuing PhD Technology, Pharmaceutics at Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, Institute of Chemical Technology. His research involves the development of innovative and affordable targeted drug delivery systems against intracellular infections and innovative strategies for tackling antimicrobial resistance. Another area of his research is the point of care affordable diagnostic systems for human and veterinary use. He is nominated AICT MHRD Innovation Ambassador, Government of India, Innovator cum Entrepreneur, supported through India South Korea Startup Exchange Program 2020, and recipient of Technology Incubation Startup Grant 2020 from MHRD, Government of India. He has received over 40 awards and recognitions during his PhD tenure, and his achievements received news and media attention. He has mentored student research projects and also motivating many student entrepreneurs in association with Institution Innovation Council. To dear faculty members and students, Mr. Amit will talk on a problem solving and ideation, answering how to identify problems, how to conceive ideas having business potential, and what are the best practices, and how to build a good team. We welcome you, Mr. Amit. Let us have an interaction with our enthusiastic students and faculty members. Over to you, Mr. Amit.
Very good morning and thank you, Sandeep sir, for your warm welcome. And thank you, Dr. Mushtaq and Dr. Anita Ayre, madam, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to present whatever the learnings I have received through my journey from ideation till to the product or a prototype designing or an entrepreneurship journey. Definitely, I'll be sharing through my talk. For this moment, I'll just share my screen. Uh, yeah. So I assume that my screen is visible to you all. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
very
Yes,
good morning. Hello and namaste from my side. So today we are talking about ideation and problem solving. Generally, we, the students, we are continuously or constantly fixed into an environment called academics, right? So we have a semester pattern like exams, assignments, then certain things, curricular, extracurricular activities in which your academic year is completely packed. But how you can identify an idea or an idea which you are thinking since so long but you have not identified its business potential. So today we are going to talk about how you can identify an idea which is worth to be a business idea. So moving further with this, I would like to highlight the envision for the student entrepreneurship and startup promotion, and that has been proposed by our late Dr. Kalam sir. And he said that the aptitude for the entrepreneurship should be cultivated right from beginning and in the university environment. And we must teach our students to take calculated risks for the sake of larger gain, but it should follow a good business ethos. So with this, I will move further that why innovation and entrepreneurship is desired, at least in student life, why, the starting point. Yes, I would like to give the answers for it. There are majorly many answers that you can give why I should go for innovation or entrepreneurship. But there are three major answers that I want to give you is one, that you all, including me, everyone, we all have the responsibility on our shoulders that we have to leave something behind so that the future generations and everyone will remember us that we have done something for them. In fact, we would like to have and become the CEO of our own idea and creation. We just want to see our idea or our baby into the market and people are using that product. And also through this initiative, we will definitely enhance our personal brand and definitely it will lead to create your celebrity status. These are very fancy, very high fundu words and everything are really, motivating. However, the results may vary and you may not receive success early or into the first attempt. But most importantly, you will learn the process of money making and create your own venture. Now, why student entrepreneurship? Why we should promote students to, pursue a startup, innovation, and entrepreneurship? The first reason that we all have the ease in accessing driver skills. In student life, you can contact many people. Even in you within your institute, you have many different faculties with a different specialization, with different departments. So you have the ease in accessing diverse skills required to set up or build your product. Similarly, and being a student or into the learning environment, you have continuously stimulating as well as resourceful environment from the campus. You have the experienced mentors, those who can teach you, mentor you, and guide you, and definitely support you to build your product. And you have, as per the policy implementation for the National Innovation and Startup Policy and certain government initiatives, you have abundant funding options available at your end. Similarly, students need not to worry about the taxation and certain ecosystem things that come under the burden or a pressure when anyone want to lead to a company or a startup, so students can be weighed off out of that system. However, even students don't have to bother about their family expenses. Currently, you are in a learning stage, and it is assumed to be that you don't have any family pressure as such, and you need to feed someone, and there are certain things which are holding you back. However, by doing entrepreneurship and startup and everything you have done, but unfortunately, if you have failed in this, unfortunately, if you have failed in this, but you have the better alternatives available, such as you can opt for job, you can opt for higher studies, you can go in acads. So there are so many things available at your end. So you don't have anything lose. Okay. So with this, student entrepreneurship is highly motivating, and every student should be motivated for this. And importantly, you will learn the process of money making. Then what's stopping us? I mean, why we are stopping? There is one important barrier that comes on every student mind before ideation and before anything or moving further with this. That stopping barrier is there, and which I have personally identified, I would like to share with you guys. There is one important and a major barrier is I can't express my idea due to I have certain barriers. That might be, oh, I am not good writer, I may not be a good communicator. Oh, I don't have to think, I don't want to think a lot. Oh, I think my ideas, or I am not a very clever student or a topper student. Guys, to become a entrepreneur, innovator, or anything, you need not to be a great thinker. You need not to be a communication expert. You need not to be a good writer for becoming innovator come entrepreneur. So this myth you have to remove from your mind that I can't express my idea. In fact, every human being per minute gets more than thousands of ideas in mind. However, what happens to those ideas? We will not pick up those, identify the potential ideas, and we will not work on those ideas. That's why we can't see those ideas as a business or a product ideas. Moving further with this, let's see, I have identified, yes, I want to have this business, that business, I will do this, I will do that. You have identified. But the major obstacle is the idea on which you want to work. There are many products available already into the market of the similar kind. Yes, it happens, and that is holding you back. But there is another answer that I want to give you is it's not about what you make. It's all about how you make with your fresh perspective and your own creation and invention, so that you can provide the improvise something to the existing one, and then you can build your customer segment. And definitely, if you see many products into the same category listed and they are selling into the market, that means you have the already a market, and you can definitely launch your product and share that market value and even generate a revenue out of it. So this myth also can be get overcome by you. Next, another barrier is we all carry all the time is the fear of rejection. Whatever we do, we think that if I'll tell someone, if I'll discuss with someone, they won't like it, or they will not support me. How I will survive? How I can do it? So this kind of fear of rejection is all the time you will carry, guys. It's all all the lifetime you will have this. However, try to identify your idea, try to work on it and make it acceptable kind of, in spite of thinking that it's gonna get rejected. Moving further, this is the most fantastic, fundamentally the myth every student carries in acads, because we have been fixed into the acads like we have to come first, second, third, like. So you also carry and fit the idea or a startup or an entrepreneurship stuff into this myth of gradations. So every student, they live with a quest to come up with a fantastic idea or a product. Everyone want to come up with a fantastic idea which is a blockbuster. So in fact, they think that I will make such a product that people are waiting for it for so long, And as soon as I launch the product, people are, they will just follow that product. They will just, have the lined up. They will follow and buy this product. However, this is not the reality. Please understand, it's a process and it goes into the process. However, don't let the perfect be the enemy of good. Make the good product, not the perfect product. In fact, the Android version or a mobile that you are currently using is not the perfect. Within 6 months, you may feel, oh, the new phone is in the market. I should go and buy this. So if the Android or the mobile app and everything is constantly changing, it is not the perfect. Then there is no need of the perfect idea to run a business. You have to just have a good idea and launch your product into the market. And later you can just improvise, make it customer, your product can be, fitted in for the customer and a market valuation likewise, and get the feedback and improve your product accordingly. So this myth, you will not apply the myth which is the strategy which is fixed in your catch of grades. You cannot grade any idea or invention which is worth to be fitted into the market or not. Next, please understand, a student in entrepreneurship, an innovator or entrepreneurial journey is not originated. You need to engineer it so well so that you can see your product or an engineered or created product into the market and people are buying this product. Next, need to understand basic. Now I'll come to the idea and what exactly the business idea and explain you the step by step. So idea, every one of us have the idea. We get the ideas. In fact, we all have the certain kind of a problems. Every day we face the problem. And to solve that problem, we ideate, right? So idea, we all have that idea. Oh, this is my problem. My watch is not proper fixing to my, wrist. So what I can do? I will have something which can make it fixable and which can be easy to wear or kind of that kind of a watch. So I'll just have certain customized kind of a thing for me. Now, if this idea is fitted to a large customer population or a market, or people are ready to buy you at this idea or something that you have solved the problem, this is called a business idea. But if this idea is just applicable to me and I am just, manually or doing the jugaad just to make myself happy, it won't be a business idea. I need to understand whether the same problem is faced by how many people across, or how painful the problem is, and my solution, how relieving that pain, whether it is quickly relieving my pain, whether it is giving mid or moderate kind of a pain relieving, or it is giving a control, or after so long time it is relieving the pain. So you need to understand what kind of a solution you are offering through your ideation makes you a business idea worth it. Moving further with this, I would like to tell you all there is a huge difference between innovation and invention. Everyone can ideate, but not every idea is innovative for the market. So that innovation is not equal to invention. Invention is you have done something to, you to create something. You have done something new or unique. However, if the people are not using it and it is not the requirement or customers are not there, and you don't have the business model for it, it is not falling into the cycle of innovation, which we call innovation, where the people needs, people pain point, or the customer segment comes. Your invention ultimately get transferred to the innovation. But if it is not given a consideration for relieving pain, you have not considered for whom you have prepared this solution or a product. And if you don't identify, if you have not identified a customer segment for this idea, this is just an invention. It is not at all gonna be an innovation. So you should have the invention, a new or a unique something, but try to make that invention into an innovation so that you will, achieve a business idea kind of a strategy. Moving further with this, how you can generate an idea then. Let me tell you, there is one model which I have learned through all my this journey. When I was like thinking what is an idea, though I was having an idea and a product, but I was quite unsure how I can make into a business idea. So if you are at a stage you don't even have the idea, no problem. You just apply this press model. So press, P stands for a problem, R stands for revenue model, E stands for entry barrier, S stands for size of the market, and another S stands for scalability. So let me explain you what the problem here is. So are you or your idea, whatever, is the solution for a problem which is faced by the people? I mean, let's see how many people are suffering through that problem. 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 200, thousands, lakhs, millions, billions, trillions. How much how much painful that problem is, you need to identify that. If your problem is so painful, believe me, guys, you have the huge markets and you can just create a good revenue out of it. So identifying problem is to identify the pain points that the people are suffering through, and you are offering a solution which will relieve their that pain points. Right? Now let's come to the revenue model. Revenue model is, if you have a solution and you have identified a problem, that for this problem my solution is, but whether this solution in return gives you a money. In fact, certainly the ideas and the problems that you solve, these are the jugaad kind of ideas in a day-to-day life, which someone or some of your family and friends may take from you, but they may not pay you back. That is not the revenue model. So whatever the solution you have designed, how you can generate a money out of it, that model has to be created in a very proper way. How you can make it to a scalable product or to a large scale production, how you can launch that product into the market, through what means the customers or your potential uh, market will pay you back for that. And all these chain of cycles need to be placed in a proper place called a revenue model if your solution is really creating that money out of it. Third is very important, is the entry barrier. Entry barrier is nothing but the solution which you have identified, how much unique that solution is, so that other players or other people, those who are into the market, cannot copy your idea, cannot make the similar kind of a product. How long you can prevent, how long you can create that barrier for them to enter into the same industry. It is very important to sustain yourself into that business, because if the others may enter, it will create a huge competition for you and you will get diluted accordingly. I will explain all these points step by step with examples so that you can understand how we can generate an idea which is worth to be a business idea. Size of the market. If you don't have the large enough size of the market, what's the value you gonna earn out of it? You need to at least identify who are my potential customers and how much they are able to pay me for this kind of a solution. So size of the market or a product market fit analysis has to be done in a very proper way. In fact, in a student life, you may opt for a survey kind of a thing to identify who are your potential customers and what is the size of your market. That will give you how much you can generate in next upcoming years after launching your product. Scalability. If your product is not scalable, in fact, scalability is in terms of earning the money more rather than investing a lot. If your input is higher than you are selling, then definitely your business is not at all a scalable business. You need to pivot in such a way, adopt certain strategies. Plan A, if it is not working for you to earn a lot of revenue, you need to have a plan B ready right now, and you need to shift it quickly so that you can surpass and you can still survive and sustain into the market. So scalability is also a major and a huge thing which majority of the startup and idea creations don't understand initially. And once they launch the product, after the long term or into the survival of 5-10 years into the market, they get failed into the market because they have not considered the options of plan B, plan C, and how they can pivot easily into the market. So it is stated that out of 100 startups, 99 startups fail, only one startup survives and success achieves a success. Why? Because they don't consider all these factors and they don't have the plan ready for it. So we will go step by step to this. Now let me explain you, give you through this video one idea uh, that is of the freshness burger in Japan. This is the idea of a business idea, how one can have an idea to earn a lot of money. So Freshness Burger is having a franchisee kind of a burger shops across Japan, and they have variety of burger options available. However, they are suffering through a loss of selling of their burger, and the biggest burger, which is stated in the middle of, which is having 480, the price they have written, it is the biggest burger, but it was not able to sell to a greater extent, though they have given the affordable price range compared to a smaller burgers and other things. They were not able to sell it to a greater extent. Later, they have identified something, and this video is all about that to give you a perception how the business idea is to increase your selling or improve your selling. So it has nothing to do with giving some discounts or something kind of what an idea they have applied. I just want to share through this video. So just have a look at it. I'll talk about this problem. So they have this burger shop, and in Japan, they were not able to sell this burger. In ancient Japan, female Japanese ladies need to keep their lips small, called ochobu, which is their even cultural context as well, and also a beauty aspect. That's why they are not able to open their mouth to a greater extent to eat the burger. So this big burger is not at all taken by them. Compared to a man, they feel so inferior to eat this burger, and that's why half of the population of the Japan is declining from the freshness burger. So they need to free a woman from the spell of uchubu. You need to keep this lips small, but you need to have the female customers to eat the burger. Yes, what's the solution for this, guys? They cannot open their mouth so big, but they want to eat the burger and they don't want to spell the ochubu, the cultural as well as the beauty perception that they are carrying. Yes. Fine, guys. Hello. What's the solution comes? You need not to spell their uchubu. They have to maintain their lips, the beauty, the cultural context. Still they have to eat the burger because half of the population of the Japan is devoid of eating this burger, and freshness burger is suffering through making the business scalable or having a target business to achieve. Yes. So the solution what they have identified is solution is the wrapper called liberation wrapper, which maintains the uchubu face with a cover, and you, the female, can eat the burger behind it. So this is a scalable and very simple and a unique idea. So what's the result? Female are able to eat this burger happily and readily by maintaining their cultural context, and they made the female to free from the spell of Ochubu. And this is just rapidly going, that idea that they have invented, it was just rapidly going and getting viral. So this is just a simple business idea to make your product sellable and achieve the greater target. So I hope you have understood the idea which sells. It need not to be very fantastic. You need a very marketing, PR, and so much of other stuff. And this tool, that tool. It was just a page or a paper wrapper which they have created, and without spoiling their cultural context. And this made them, to achieve the good selling of their business or a profit in their business. Next, moving with this, I would like to tell you a business idea generation. We all are now, having everything going virtual. In fact, education is also virtual, right? And we have been seeing many online courses are offered to us for with the one purpose that they are even offering you a job guarantee. Yes, they are offering you a job guarantee as well. You can see Udemy, Coursera, Upgrad. Likewise, you guys might have come across. So let us feed into our idea model, that is press, problem, revenue, entry barrier, size of the market, and scalability. We just fit this idea, that is online courses to offer and make people to get them guaranteed jobs. Yes, are they solving a problem? Are they solving a problem? Yes, they are definitely solving a problem, because the courses which we study, definitely the thing is, there is a huge competition. Even for the employer to select a potential candidate, there is a challenge. So for the recruiter or an employer to select a potential candidate based on the skill set or the courses that they have attended, or they have the skill set ready with them, is easier for them to identify. So definitely they are solving the problem of not at all the students or the employee. They're also solving the problem of employer. So this is a problem definitely they are solving. Do they have a revenue model ready? Yes, they will generate a money out of it, because online courses, once you go and opt for it, they give you a price tag for that. I mean, this course of this much of duration is costing you this much. Similarly, once you complete it, they suggest your CV or your skill set to a potential recruiter, and that potential recruiter recruits you. Even that potential recruiter is registered on this such a websites or such a sites. Even they are the customers for them. So revenue model is on place. Both parties are paying them, right? Do they have a size of the market? Do they have a huge size of the market? Yes, of course, they have a huge size of the market. In fact, everyone is into the learning stage. Every day we are learning, and such online courses we generally definitely go and attend. So they have the huge size of the market, right? Let me come to the entry barrier for this. Do they have the entry barrier? Can a freshman or a fresh idea person enter in this business? Yes, yes, anyone can enter in this online courses, online learning. Anyone can launch their course series and make another, like any course kind of a company. Already there are three or many more currently working. So they don't have a fixed entry barrier as such. They are offering this course. Scalability. Is this business scalable? Yes, it is of course scalable, because they don't need to recruit people. There are no manpower involved. They have to just launch the online course modules, and people just pay, watch it, learn it, and get the certification. So this business is a scalable kind of a business. However, the entry barrier need to be protected so effectively, so stronger has to be built, so that you will survive into the market. In fact, survival for such a kind of a business, I would like to tell you, is they have to create certain lot of kind of a course content which is definitely difficult for the newcomer to copy. And the till time the newcomer comes to your level with a huge content, till that time you have already created your brand value. So definitely you will survive into the market provided you come into the market first and create huge or a lot of a course content which is desired for your audience. And you may not stick to just one course, because if you stick to the one course, you have the less market size, your revenue model gets shrinked, and definitely it is a problem for a particular segment. So you will not achieve a good revenue out of it. Try to expand in such areas. Next, there is another example I would like to give you for an entry barrier. Here is one example of a business called wedding gift business. Yes, we all face the challenge while attending weddings. We all get unwanted wedding gifts. We see people are giving a lot of unwanted gifts. And the major challenge in the wedding gifts is you get the multiple gifts. Okay, you will get same gifts from the multiple gifts. I mean, if someone gifts you a watch, a wall clock or something, you will get 10-20 wall clocks from the multiple guests. Then what you will do from that unwanted kind of a stuff? Yes, it's a big challenge. Right now we also think that there are unwanted gifts. However, can we give? This is the problem, right? Solution क्या है इसके ऊपर? The solution is you want to give the platform for having such a kind of a wedding gifts available. Okay, where couple puts their desired gifts. Okay, or they will list their gifts, what they want from their guest. Okay, on this platform, and the link for giving gift for their guest is shared onto the card or through an email or any other social media platform. And guests visit that link, they select your desired and the possible gift that which they can gift you, and they can purchase it from that platform and courier it to you on the date which you desire that the gift should come. This concept is popular in Western countries a lot. However, it is very much uncommon in India. You all got excited about this business, might be this is really a very good business. But let me tell you, it is an example of an entry barrier. Moving further with the slide, what will stop Amazon, Flipkart from entering into the same business? Yes, the big dog is carrying Amazon and Flipkart, and the wedding gift platform is just a small dog in front of it. Let me explain you. Amazon and Flipkart, already they are the dawn into the market. They have a huge customer database and they have already created their brand value. In fact, they offer the huge discounts to the customers. They have a lot of tie-ups with the vendors and distributors. And even they are offering currently you the service that gifts are delivered to you on at your doorstep. Now, let me tell you the USP of this idea. What the USP was? The USP that they created, it was an online platform, okay, where couple place or put their desired gifts, which is not available on Amazon or Flipkart kind of a platform, but it is the website that they have created where it is available. But let me tell you one thing, your guests are so smart. They will visit this website. They will see that what are the listed gifts you have mentioned. And the similar gift they will purchase from Amazon or Flipkart at the very low cost. Thus, there is no entry barrier how this business can gonna survive into the market. Yes, so there is no entry barrier for this business. And this will lead to a complete shutdown. Next, moving, I would like to tell you a biggest player into the market with a good entry barrier. So factors or the strengths I would call, which makes it difficult for a new firms to enter into the same business, or it will stop the your competitors or the potential business aspirants to come into the same segment. Coca-Cola, the brand which is selling since so many years. If I'm not wrong, it has been established in 1981 or so before that. Yes, they have legal barrier. Their Coca-Cola product is patented. It is the protected IP, which which is the biggest barrier for others to enter in this business. So you have to make a product to have a proper entry barrier. You need to protect your IP, and the IP has to be very strong. So Coca-Cola has a legal barrier, which is the entry barrier. Another, they have a good selling integration. Selling integration as in they are selling across the globe through their customers, vendors, and suppliers, and they have the chain of suppliers already. That's why they have a good selling integration. If you are not having a good selling integration, your product may not gonna get sell, and your competitors will eat you completely. So this selling integration need to be maintained so well so that it will be forming a barrier for others to enter into the same segment. First market advantage. Yes, if you have an idea which no one has worked, or if you have a solution which no one has thought for, you have to launch that product as soon as possible into the market and get the first market advantage. Believe me, guys, for others to come into the market with the same idea and a product, it will take time. But till that time, your first market advantage, and you may acquire a largest customer segment, and you will create a brand value. Similarly, people are stick or customers are stick to the brand loyalty. Coca-Cola is a brand with a loyalty, honesty. So people or the customer's satisfaction, they have considered in this segment. So you have to also consider and gives considerations to your customer's satisfaction through your product so that your customers will be maintained and your business will be sustained into the market. Even though there are the crisis of economics, you don't have abundant funding at your end and something, but you have to make certain products which are able to survive even in terms of the economic crisis. So you need to have at least, being a brand, being someone who has so many things, you at least have the economics to scale your business during that period. And finally, geographical barrier. Many products do get sold. Let's see if I talk about, Solapur sells their bed sheets or chadars, like that kind of. So if you have go and purchased from Solapur, you will get Solapur chadar. But if someone from other place comes and says, oh, this is Solapur ka this thing, so you will definitely not buy because the product is having a geographical value, so that is created a barrier. So you need to create all these perspectives and a barrier and make your product protected, and this is the actual business strategy to sustain your product into the market. Next, what is a scalable business? I have given an example, Infosys versus Microsoft, on the screen. Infosys, what is a Infosys? Is a consultancy services provider. So, and Infosys have how many employees? They have a huge or a lot of employees to offer their services or their consultancy things. While on the other hand, Microsoft, how many employees do they have compared with the Infosys? Very few. If you could compare between them, Infosys is a service provider or is a consultancy firm where they need the continuous recruitment or employment of people or a manpower. Generally speaking, it is a manually working environment or the requirements are there. So for this, you need a people input is huge. However, the output in terms is a questionable. However, Infosys is also running a good business. But if you could compare to the Microsoft it sells a product, a software, a something which they have just created, they launch it, and people just buy their product. They are not continuously recruiting manpower and they are not having any manual requirements. Thus, their output is low, input is low, but their output is high. And in fact, Microsoft at today's date is $1 trillion company, whereas Infosys is just touch the $1 billion company. So you can understand a biggest difference between them. You need to avoid or have a low input in your company status and manpower, and you need to control many things to have your scalable business. You need to think an online business or selling anything online is very much easier than opening a shop, then putting the product, employing people, and then selling that same product. So this way, the difference is the how the scalable businesses. Next, you need to understand the difference between bad ideas and a good ideas. Okay, all are ideas only. To the left hand side, I have mentioned bad ideas and terms are not fitting properly into the press model, which I have explained. Generally, we make the product which people want. It might be a service, it might be a product which someone wants, or a customized product which you make. Bad idea. If you solve a real life problems, yes, it is a good idea if you are solving a real life problems, but you need to find a customer for it, and your time goes and fitting your product for a customer fit analysis or a market search, then this is a bad idea. If you have identified a real life problem, you have identified a solution, and also you have identified your customers, but if you are late into the market, you are not able to move fast and validate your product and launch that product into the market, it is a bad idea. It won't help you out. A good idea, while on the right hand side, I have mentioned, what is your advantage? It carries a USP, a uniqueness, which prevent others, which prevent something, or it is an improvised something which people will follow. So you know something which others don't know. So it is a good idea. Next, what's new and how people accept your idea as it doesn't exist. If your idea doesn't exist, so what's the new thing, or what's the hook that you gonna create in their mindset to buy your product? It's a USP and it's a good idea, because here there is a control of you and your own ideations. But if you are entering into the saturated market, you need to move fast. Otherwise, everything just gonna go get wasted. Called bad ideas. So you need to ideate something new, unique, or something improvised compared to the existing one, with a fresh perspective and inventions in that area, which will help ease and reach your customers to your product in a better way. Next, this is a business model canvas. Before idea, if you have any idea or anything, you just have to have this business model canvas, which I have shared on the screen. You need to identify first. You have identified your idea. How you will create a product out of that idea? What are the resources you will use? I mean, let's see, a raw material, or if you will outsource this, how you will outsource this, manufacturing or anything, the material and everything, what is required. This is come under a resources. What kind of activities you will run when you run a business? I mean, whether it is your manufacturing firm, it is a servicing consultancy firm, it is a trading business, what kind of activities you think, if I'll perform, I'll gonna survive into the market. Then whether you have the partnerships, what kind of a partnerships would you have? If I am a food supplier, do I have to have a partnership with Zomato? If I am running a hotel, do I have to have a partnership with Oyo or Make My Trip? Likewise, so how you gonna have the partnerships in this area, and what kind of a costs, I mean, involved in this activities? If let's see purchasing raw materials or anything, this certain kind of a purchase cost comes, maintaining of activities, operations and everything. So you need the certain cost for that, and even maintaining the partnership or giving them some share in your company, or certain kind of a royalty on your product sell. These kind of a cost you need to consider. So this is the first segment that you need to identify. Okay, next comes is the channels. Now you have identified the product, how you will run the business, you have identified through what channels you will uh, sell your products to a potential customers. You identified the potential customers as well who will purchase this product. So how you will channelize from your firm or your end to the your potential customers, whether it is an online platform, whether it is a shops, or whether it is through a distribution channel. It is a B2C, I mean business, which is for the customers, or it is business to the business kind of a thing. And how, once you sell your product, how you maintain the relationship with your customers is very important, because you want them to stay with you. You want them to have your products with them for longer, and you want them to talk about your product for longer. How and what kind of relationships you will maintain with them, whether you will provide them discounts, whether you will provide them certain kind of some strategies through which they get connected to you. Likewise, some online messages do certain firms offer, certain gifts they offer, or something kind of revenues. By doing all these things, how much revenue you will earn out of that from your clients? So your revenue has to be higher compared to your cost value, your purchase value. And what decides why your revenue will be higher compared to your cost is your value proposition. What the value that you're gonna add through your product to your clients is so very critical in entire picture. So the value proposition need to be customer domain, not to be your owner or a developer domain. What your customer needs, what are their feedbacks, try to work on that and improve your products and try to add those value propositions in your product. Definitely you're going to earn a revenue out of it. Moving further, I'll just explain a business model of Amazon. Here on this slide, I have mentioned why Amazon is growing in the business. What they have identified: sellers and a customer experience. Okay, we generally, it was it is an online platform, and they deliver your product at your doorstep. Sellers want to sell their product, and customers want to buy a desired product. So this platform is a trafficking or the online service which provides the both sellers as well as customers. I mean, those who buy the products are their potential customers for that platform. So they have a selection convenience platform where you can select the desired product under a desired category. So in this way, in this channel, once they have the proper tie-ups and a vendors at fixed place, they will definitely offer you a lower cost structure, and they will offer you a discount compared to other websites or something. They offer you 50%, 45%, or this day or that day the sale is going very high or something. So lower prices ultimately is required for the customer. I mean, why I will buy a thing at a twice or thrice the cost than the Amazon is giving me? Definitely I will go to the Amazon and buy that product. So this is the customer experience and the satisfaction that they have considered, and all these things they are moving into the cycle, and that's why they are growing through this business model. In fact, they are launching so many platforms through their business channels where people can explore through and get the products at their doorstep. So this kind of a business model, you need to consider what are your potential customers, and they have given a value proposition for the customer experience and a lower cost. The most important and critical aspect is the customer experience for them to run their business. Next, so student entrepreneurship, and I would like to tell you the difference between a classroom and an entrepreneurship. So in classroom, you learn something that is called input. Whereas entrepreneurship, startup, and innovation demand something out of the box, and it is called solution based thing called output. So people are in requirement of an output, not an input. Input is creating a saturation once you are out of the course. So here, this entrepreneurship journey is a continuous process where till you find solution or you improve in your business. However, in academy you have a set program semester wise. You have to complete, occupy that exams, and go ahead. In this case, you don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 years with you, and you need to strategize. You need to make the plans A, B, C, D ready at your end. Still, you don't know what's going to happen, but you need to be continuously moving in that. Here, your instructors, everyone knows the knowledge and they integrate that knowledge to you in the classroom teaching. You have here homework, assignments, and exam, right? Whereas in entrepreneurship, you need to evaluate your performance through customer feedbacks, your vendor feedback, your partnership feedback, and you need to maintain the synergy between all to run a successful business. Document is very much important in case of entrepreneurship. As I have stated, you need a legal document placed, you need all those tie-up document agreements placed, you need everything. So the documentation is so very important. However, in classroom, such certain kinds of a documentation, in fact, the student don't even bother to maintain the journals properly. So this is all about the classroom, which is this the scenario, whereas entrepreneurship demands something different and it makes you a different person out of it. So why to come in this journey? I would like to tell you, you will learn methodologies to solve real life challenges. Yes, you are the person who solves the real life challenges. You will learn and enjoy the teamwork. No entrepreneur or an innovator is an individual running a business, it's a team that runs a business. So you need to learn and enjoy the teamwork and have the proper team here. Here, I also want to highlight in terms of a teamwork, the point is to whom you will take your team as to run a successful business. It is based on the requirements of your business and it is not based on your relationships. Oh, my friend, this is he's my best friend or she is my best friend, I will take him in my company. Oh, my uncle is very much in favor of me, I will take my uncle in my company. In this way, you will not gonna survive into a business scenario. Business needs a certain kind of a skill set required or desired at that time for your business. So you need the people, those who are having that desired skill set to run your business. And in this way, you will, make the team. You will not have just a relationship kind of a business. You will not have an emotional bonding kind of a business. It will definitely get diluted into the market. Next, it will definitely enhance your communication in terms of writing, speaking, all the improvements will happen. And it will definitely lead up, it will develop a leadership skills in you. You will definitely take over the leads, whatever the challenge comes in front of you. And whatever is your thought behind your idea to make it a sellable idea, you are able to integrate that idea and knowledge to the customers. And you will definitely improve if you have not succeeded in your this journey, but you will definitely prove yourself in your employment if you go into the job as how you have perceived this idea. So learning focuses on input and whereas business focuses on output. So pharmacy profession, we all have learned all these things: compounding, dispensing, math, statistics, physics, chemistry, everything we learn. However, we need to identify a business in a particular segment or area where in this slide I have highlighted a gamut of research and innovation where you can highlight a particular area and need to identify whether are you going to offer a product or a technology in that area. Are you going to offer a service, your idea? Are you going to offer a consultancy? Or how are you going to run a business which is B2B or a B2C sector? So students need to lead to a startup. They need a one important aspect called mentorship. Mentoring is so very important for student entrepreneurs, and student entrepreneurs also need to incubate their ideas to make it a viable product. So incubation is so very important for the student entrepreneurs. Next, so you need to understand the basic. You need to understand start requires your USP, market research, product design, scale up strategies, and marketing and selling strategies on place. And once you are launched into the market, sustaining into the market also demands more. You need to consider your competitors, regulators, customer compliance, and accordingly, you need to improve yourself. And also, if not you are improving, you need to change the market strategy. You have a lot of funding options, as I have stated on this slide. You have Startup India, Gates funding, MHRD's funding, you have DBT, angel investors, those who can invest in student ideas and student startups. So plan for fundraising. Initially, if you are looking for funding for initial product development, you don't need the fundings, or if you need the funding, that is limited up to thousands or a lakhs. But if you go for a launching and expansion kind of, the value increases and it goes in crores and lot of money. So for that, you need the investment and you need to pitch in front of the investors and have that plan. So initially, early stage is your product development and validation, and you will go to the full commercialization and launch your product into the market. So these are the implementation stages in which you have to fit your product into the market. Next. So lastly, I would like to tell you the simple steps that you need to identify a right niche while generating an idea in which the segment or an area you want to work. That idea need to be there. Compare the available products or the technology already into the market, and based on that, already this is available, but what are their problems and what are their obstacles, what are their USPs, and how you can add a value to a new idea or a particular invention in a particular sector. So how you can improve or add a value, and you start working on that value addition through developing a proof of concept or a prototype or a business model. And finally, you need to lead to the performance validation and other steps. So it's all about the adventurous journey. Do's and don'ts. First, do's, do your homework well for this. Don't be hypothetical, ye karunga, ye hoga, wo hoga. Realize whether the product is needed or not. If you have the poor market search done, don't do the poor market search. Don't don't make the ugly prototype. People won't accept your product. Looking at bigger, fancy, and glamorous aspects, generally, which might not required at the start, but you look at those, you will fail accordingly. Don't fall in love with your idea and protect it. Okay, don't fall in love. Oh, this is my idea. I don't want to share with anyone. Share it, get the feedback, and improve your product. Not realizing the strength of your team members. What is the strength of your team members? As I have stated earlier, you need to identify. Don't be superficial and don't overclaim my product is this and that, and don't make general presentations. Get the proper effective presentations so that investors or your customers are getting attracted or attached to your product and give you the feedback or money in return. So you should do your homework well before starting this journey. If you fail to do so, you will face the obstacles accordingly. So my journey so far, I have presented developed a product called Pregnidate, which is the point of care pregnancy detection kit. And I received an award for this product at the MHRD AI Cities Innovation Contest. Similarly, I received an opportunity to present my idea to the India South Korea Startup Exchange Program. And also, this idea got listed in Global Innovator Festa on top 100 startups all over the world. So through this, I have received so much of mentoring, workshops on global commercialization strategies. Also, I have visited many incubation centers, accelerators, those who are promoting student ideas and promoting their innovation culture to a greater extent in Korea. I have presented on a global innovative platform on top 100 ideas all over the world, and I got the mention of my product on those 100 startups. The pitching sessions, we even received the Korean collaboration, and there are so much of the innovation culture that I have seen in Korea that they are promoting, not from the graduation or a post graduation, but 11 12 standard or below, even schooling students are into the business. Pitching sessions and everything, I have received the mentoring and all that. Finally, I received a lot of media attention for this in news, radio interviews, and also I have received the startup incubation grant from MHRD's AICT IIC for developing this product to a greater extent. Now the Pregvidate is conducting trials in a big dairy farms, dairy industries, and also we have identified 25 weight doctor team across India in 25 different states who are promoting my product and all over the India. So through this, my product has been incubated in Research Design and Incubation Design Laboratory, Riddle, Mumbai. And these are the testimonials for my product where people from India as well as from outside are talking about that this is a breakthrough, a milestone, a greater substitute for older pregnancy techniques. and people are ready to support this product to a greater extent. So I have achieved many things, research honors, as well as a Youth Inspirator Award, and also whatever the research I have mentored for the UGs and PGs, I have received an award for that. I have presented such certain innovations at Calling Walls Lab, a national level platform, NanoSparks, and also the Base Table, which is for a biotechnology startups. They promote the platform. So all these platforms, I have received the recognitions. Again, a news and media attention for this. So currently, I am an innovator come entrepreneur who is looking for the future of the startup and entrepreneurship and scaling my business to a greater extent. So believe in togetherness. You have to innovate, educate as well, and expand your business. So this is the funda that we, the innovation ambassadors, carry, and give you the culture of innovation, education, and expansion. So with this, I would like to thank IIC of Vivekanand Education Society's College of Pharmacy, VESCOP, Mumbai, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to interact with you and give you what are the ideation and problem solving things required. Similarly, I would like to thank Dr. Mushtaq and Dr. Anita Ayre madam for inviting me and giving me the course or this webinar things on place, and best wishes to you all future entrepreneurs or innovators. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Amitji, we really congratulate you of your great achievement,
Thank you
and
so
you
much.
have really guided well
Thank
about
you.
student entrepreneurship and a perfect way to make up mind to walk on a path of entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure students got insight on how to identify problems, how to conceive ideas, having business potential, and what are the best practices, and how to build a good team by giving relevant and realistic live examples. I really appreciate your motivating talk to students and, in fact, all faculty members. Amitji, I am confident your session broaden mindset of all our viewers and learn strategies to become an entrepreneur. I am really
Mhm.
thankful to you. Expecting you will be a great resource for all our students for any kind of query in context to your expertise in future. Thank
Yes, sir.
you to be with us and have a nice time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So, dear students, now I am happy to call our in-house faculty members on screen, Dr. Mushtaque Shaikh and Dr. Anita Ayre madam, President and Vice President of Institute Innovation Council, VS College of Pharmacy. They are going to talk on national education policy and its relevance to higher education with case studies. So over to Mushtaq sir and Anita madam.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. So, today's focus for our second talk on day two of Entrepreneurship Development Program is a review of national education policy. So, talking about national education policy, yeah, talking about national education policy, okay, we'll have to brief a student about that it is very much to do with innovation culture at higher education institute. So many time in our talk, we will be uh, referring it as NEP and HEI, right? So just beware that these particular things will be referring, and that refers to National Education Policy and Higher Education Institute. Right. So let us try to learn that what this is all about. Right. The excerpt of my talk will roll around these few points, which is introduction and need, an overview of the NEP, its relevance to graduate student. Why you should all know this? Why we are talking to you all on this particular aspect? Is it really important to you? Right? This point I'll be discussing over here. Then vision, aim, and objectives of government to set this or to make this policy. Then what are the norms for school education and higher education? Okay, and then what holistic approaches NEP are going to take care, and how does it support the student? There are a few points will be arena of my today's talk, and more details on this will be shared by my fellow Dr. Anita Ayre, who is Vice President of Institute Innovation Cell 3 of the VESCOP. Right, let us get on to that and try to understand what is it and why it is so important. I have actually borrowed this slide from our earlier presentation. Student would remember this slide that I have presented for an introduction to innovation cell, right? So therein we were talking about that why innovation is so important for our country, right? We had been observing that our country is rising the ladder on the innovation scale, global innovation index, which we call it, but it is felt that it is not enough. Our country has to even feature better. Okay, we are 52nd. We were 52nd in the 2000 year 2019. Okay, can we be in the among let's say top 10? Yes. So that will contribute to our nation building. That will not only contribute to our economy, that will contribute to the normal man's or normal citizen like you. The standard of living will be increased. So it is all relevant, right? So it is even relevant to for us, right? So I had again borrowed this slide from earlier in a different format. Thanks to Anita Madam for formatting such a well. So initiatives of government of India. Okay. So what government India had been doing? First thing what they did was they made an MHRD's innovation cell. Then they floated ISs. Then they floated various ranking frameworks like NIRF, ARIA, AICTCI, Institute Innovation, Institute Industry Linkage Award. Then now we are working on something called as National Innovation and Startup Policy. Government has already floated one policy, and our next session will be probably on this particular policy. Then today's focus, the new education policy. Then government is I'll say promoting to form incubation center at the higher education institute so that the innovation culture or ecosystem be set at a very grassroots level, right? So that we have to understand. Right, let us go to national education policy. So it is not that this is the first time the government has done it. Okay, we already had several policies. The earlier policy was made 34 years ago in 1986, and we had to understand that now the scenario is completely changing. Okay, even Mr. Amit mentioned in his particular talk that whatever mobile I have today is not enough. It will definitely improve, and we can say that we are very sure. We know that nowadays that even in 6 months you get a better mobile available in the market, right? So that is the thing. I mean, the world is changing constantly, and that is why our education system, though it was supposed to be best, okay, in the world, okay, a lot of people we have seen passing out through this education system and acquiring best position in the industry and in the scientific fields, right? So it is not that our education system was not very good, but we have to be aligned with the changes in the society, changes in global scenario. So NAP was approved on 29 July 2020 by Union Cabinet and was flagged by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. So it has four fundamental pillars: access, equality, quality, affordability, and accountability. I'm sorry, these are five pillars on which the NEP is basically built upon, and it is in alignment with for the governments of India's agenda of sustainable development. So why can't there be a sustainable education? Why can't it add to the nation building? Why can't it add to make the things more economical and more fruitful in terms of our effort? So this policy, NEP, it applies to all the education system, be it preschool, be it secondary school, or be it at a higher level, higher education, whatsoever it is, right? So how it is made? It was made by you and it is made for you. It is just like, democracy, for you, by you, of you, right? So a consultation was taken from normal people like you and me. I had to share over here that even some suggestion our college has given. I, as a teacher in the faculty in the field, I have given some suggestion, be it accepted or not. But this is admirable that government has taken care to take leads from the common man like us and you, right? So some inputs were taken from earlier draft, which was made in 2016, but it was not finalized, and law was, or let us say, policy was not formulated officially. NEP 2020 was drafted under the chairmanship of Padma Vibhushan Dr. K. Kasturirangan, uh, Kasturirangan Jiji. So this committee made it very well. Okay, this policy is available online, and you can yourself read it. But before that, we'll have a review on that. I mean, for the context of student, how does it benefit? Is it really relevant? Okay, why are we sharing this particular information with you, right? So let us begin with your own state, which is that you are a student now, and it would happen in future that some curriculum or assessment rule will be changed. Okay, because this policy fairly talks about this particular thing. So that will be something really important for a student to know, and you have to be mentally prepared, right? Then effective use of technology in teaching and learning process. So in last 9 months, it is already December, and from since March we are in a lockdown situation, and we had been learning our courses through online mode. So now we can confidently say we are already well versed with it. But nevertheless, government also has decided to put their hands and head into that, and to make it more flawless for the for all the stakeholders. Okay, you, your parent, me, administration, okay, government, university, everybody will be involved through such a teaching learning platform. So that is one of the forefront agenda of the government. Recognition of ODL. What is ODL? It is open distance learning. So now government is recognize it. Okay, I mean, everybody can access everything at any time from anywhere, right? That is the agenda over here. Higher education is the basis for innovation and knowledge. So we had been saying that innovation. Our ISC stand for innovation. MHRD is innovation cell, and lot of activities government is doing, right? So government's total focus is innovation. Okay, so that is added as a flavor to our higher education, and that is the focus. Okay, and why we are going to do this? Because it will contribute to the nation building, right? So everything jots down that final ultimate goal of nation building. Okay, let us go ahead. It also emphasizes on innovation as well as entrepreneurship. Okay, so nation will uh, grow if all the individual or most of the individuals are job creator but not the job seekers. So we had been learning and we had been hearing, okay, in this lockdown you must have heard lot of time, lot of protests and everything, that there is lot of unemployment and all this thing. Okay, so we have to be employment creators. Okay, and that is the goal of again our leaders in the government, right? Now, another important point I would like to share over here, that let us say if you are interested in making your career in academics, like me and maybe let us say Anita madam or Sandeep sir, right? So now scenario is changing. So I'll say so to the extent that one has to really know about these policies. So it will be a must to know for such individual. Okay, I know few students are master students who are with us today. Okay, and of course you would be looking forward to become a teacher in the future. Okay, or maybe some undergraduate student will be interested in that. So for that matter, this has to be kind of a must know information for you. Transparency in admission process. Okay, so as we said that it is relevant to education, and of course admission is important part of education, right? And I'm quite sure that UG student would want to go for PG student would want to go for PhD enrollment, right? So this particular rules and policies will be applied very shortly, and then you have to be aware about the forthcoming scenarios, and that is why this particular session was brought to you by the ISC. Information would be useful for offspring or sibling. It may happen that you will feel, okay, this policy look forward to implement completely by 2035. By that time, the students who are 20 years old now will be 35 years by that time. Okay, then you may think that why it is irrelevant to us. Maybe it is going to be applied, but whatever be the case, it may be useful to know it. Not for if not for us, maybe for our siblings, our brothers and sisters in our house, or maybe to our kids, which you may have in the future, right? So vision of this policy, okay, every policy has a vision, and the vision of policy is that to concentrate, to focus upon the Indian knowledge based system, Indian ethos, and we have to align them with the growing world. And also we want to make our country kind of a Vishwa group. Okay, so that is the idea behind this policy, that is the vision behind this policy. And in the words of President Ramnath Kovindji, that policy says the vision of developing an equitable and vibrant knowledge society for by providing quality education to us. So that quality is the word over here, right? Higher education institute have greater responsibility, and that is why university, that is why the government is looking towards the Institute of Higher Education. Responsibility of making India a global knowledge superpower. The quality standards set as a benchmark by this institution would be followed by other institute. Okay, so if the leading institute follow it, then later will, of course, will put their foot in their footstep. Okay, so aims and objectives, as I just said, that we have to make the quality. Okay, and how it will be, how that quality will bring in the education by making the system more holistic, more flexible, more multidisciplinary, more suited to 21st century's need, and it has to be aimed at bringing out the unique capability of each student. Okay, not just that. Okay, you are doing pharmacy, so you should have only knowledge of pharmacy. Not necessary. Okay, the things are going to amalgamate in the future. Okay, the person with more number of capabilities will be the fittest to survive in future, right? So education system are being developed to meeting the needs of 21st century's need. We want to be Vishwa Gurus. We want to promote students to be an entrepreneur. We want to produce a better citizen for better India in tomorrow. So these are aims and objectives of NEP. Starting with, we said that the policy applies to preschool, school, and also to the higher education. So one of the slides present over here, that government is looking forward to make the span of education little shorter, very compact. And when it has to be made compact, okay, it has to be perfect. And that is what the whole, I'll say, uh, SAR of this particular, I'll say, policy, right? So you can see that even for higher education, okay, our 4-year course will all become 3-year course. That is why it is important for you to understand and know it. Okay, let us directly jump, because school education policy is not the focus of today's talk, but NEP and higher education, this is the focus of today's talk. So what we have over here, okay, for you, a student like you will be allowed to have flexibility in subject. I don't want it, right? Already you are having some subject which are choice based, right? So this thing will be taken to maybe next level, and then multiple entry and exit level. Okay, so it will happen that one student don't want to continue the course. Suddenly I realized that I had a liking towards computers, I had a liking towards electronics, I had liking towards civil engineering. Okay, and then what to do? Okay, if I live in, let us say, first or second year, I'll not get anything. But now this policy states that you will get a certificate A1 for that. Okay, so that year you'll not call will be lost. Okay, I'll just add over here that I had actually completed 1 year of BSc earlier. Okay, and I don't have any certificate, I don't use it anywhere. But of course, for you, it could be a kind of a scenario, right? So academic banks of credit to be established to facilitate transfer of credits. That is another very kind of a breakthrough in the education sector. We'll be using a lot of technology and will give equity to all. And then maybe Anita madam will focus upon foundation of something called as National Research Foundation, which will support the research in the higher education. Then inclusion of despite of any distinction on this gender basis, or maybe economical zone, or disadvantaged zone, or region, or groups. Okay, so inclusion for all, that is the agenda. Then affiliation system, because of this affiliation system and different graders of I'll say educational institute, there are certain problems which will be removed through this policy. Okay, and also the government is looking forward to concentrate on our Indian knowledge system, right? Like languages. Okay, we want to educate you all in our local languages. Like for example, the inspiration from there we'll get over here is the country of China. Okay, their own education system is in their Mandarin language. Okay, and we can see the number of patents they file, the kind of innovation they do, and the kind of business they do. It is evident through their no, this is effort of their education in their own mother tongue. So that is also one of the focus of NEP. Okay, so what are the key aspects over here? Higher education curriculum have to flexibility in the subject. Okay, so not only flexibility in choosing the subject, but what will be the content of subject? That subject flexibility will be given to the teacher. Okay, both, I mean teacher as well as student will have that kind of flexibility. Multiple entry exit, I just talked about that. Academic banks of credit, I talked about that just now. Okay, and there will be a single regulator. Okay, just sharing with you an example of pharmacy institute. Like we are reporting to let us say university, and then this way we are reporting to UGC, we are reporting to MHRD through AICT, we are reporting to PCI and lot of other organization. Okay, we are reporting at state level we report to DTE. So that's what the government is saying, that I mean putting an agenda that not to report to so many, there should be one single uh, you know regulator. That's what government is looking forward. Okay, and they want to grant autonomy to institute their they want to grant autonomy to autonomy to, I'll say that teachers. Okay, and multilingualism, right? That is, I just talked about that. We want to educate you all in our mother tongue. Okay, and talking about to holistic development, first point over here, that the local arts, so 64 kalas or arts, the government is planning to put into the curriculum. Okay, along with vocational field. Okay, so not only that, the student, okay, will be having just theoretical knowledge, he will be trained, okay, in some skill. Okay, also as far as let us say pharmacy or medical or some professional fields are there. Okay, they will I mean they will be molded in a more skilled person rather than just in kind of a theoretical or knowledgeable person. So lot of department government is looking forward to put on, and also government is thinking of making, I'll say, as we talked about, that government is making us trying to make us, our students, good citizen. And how would we do that? By inculcating good values like humanistic, ethical, oral, universal human values, truth, peace, non-violence, righteous conduct, love, citizenship values, all those things, life skill like personality development, teaching, learning, and governance. So this is a kind of a one of its kind of own policy, I'll say. Okay, so we said that if we have to bring in so many things together, how the government is planning to do that? Okay, like vocational field bhi hona chahiye, professional bhi hona chahiye. Okay, so either government wants it to be done by making a cluster of colleges. Like for example, if what if our pharmacy college works in us along with another institute which is technical institute, okay, ITI, right? So that is how government is looking forward, or even government is looking forward to make multidisciplinary education and research universities, right? So these are the I'll say kind of planning of the government. Okay, so we talked about that you can leave your course in between also. Okay, so undergraduate degree will be of either 3 to 4 years. Multiple exit option will be available, and at each option, at each level, if you pass out first year, you should get some certificate. Okay, and even possibility of degree with research. Okay, anyways, in your final year we are doing some small bit of research, but we cannot call it a complete thorough research. But here the plan is to make it more formal, right? So degree with research is another concept government is floating. Okay, if one person pass it out first year and want to leave, he will be awarded with diploma. If 2 years are completed, then the certificate of advanced diploma will be awarded. For 3 years, just said that degree courses will be of 3 years. It can be a possibility to have amalgamated course like bachelor program of research for 4 years, and then 5 year integrated courses are also now I'll say in the sight of government. Okay, and then government want to support students like you through various programs. Okay, right, making national depository of all the course material, which is called as Diksha. Okay, competency based education. Okay, so government want to see that how each learner is excelling in the path. Okay, we want to keep a tap on that so that everyone grows very well. Government wants to extend its generous financial support. It wants to put ethics, health, psychological, and well-being into the personality of the student. Okay, they would support us through open distance learning, and they want the institute to make a development plan for them, institute development plan, which is abbreviated as IDP, so that they know that what they want to achieve, what institute want to achieve, they should know it. Okay, and then of course internationalization of education. Okay, so there are two things here government is doing. One is that our institute, our well-known institute, Indian origin, should set their branches at abroad, and the international institute at abroad should set their branches at India. Okay, both the ways, right? So that is what you call internationalization of the education. So that's all from my side, and thank you for all your patient listening. I hope it must have added some little bit of information to you, that why the student, the parent, the teacher should know this particular policy. And I'm looking forward to Anita madam to join here and elaborate on further new points.
Thank you, Mushtaq sir. I would be sharing my screen now. A very good afternoon to all of you. I will be continuing with the points that are discussed by Mushtaq sir and taking it ahead. So, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, madam, we are able.
Okay. So the contents that I will be focusing, or rather continuing, will be with respect to NEP, the inclusions in higher education, faculty perspective and teacher education, what are the norms for vocational education and professional education, regulation in higher education, the technology, use of technology and integration, what is the role of higher education institutes with respect to NAP, and most importantly, what are the challenges and opportunities for innovation. Now, before I move into the contents, I would like to highlight here that the prime focus of national education policy, especially with respect to students, is basically to foster creativity and innovation among students by identifying their unique skills and abilities, which will eventually lead to their professional developments. So, coming to the point of equity and inclusion in higher education. So, when you talk of national education policy, it basically focuses on having a national scholarship fund, which will be a fund which is regulated by a apex body, and through this fund various type of scholarships, over more than 50 scholarships, will be offered to different higher education institutes as well as schools. Then it also focuses on, as Mushtaq sir had rightly pointed out, on open digital learning as well as online education by creating National Institute for Open Schooling and State Open Schools. So this will really prove to be a paradigm shift in terms of education. That education will not be a barrier either through open schools or through online digital learning. Uh, it aims to basically educate the students and so on. Also, it will be available in the form of different courses that will be offered to the educators. Then there is a focus on gender inclusion fund, which basically talks of providing education to everyone, even people with those who are physically disabled, or if there is a gender biasness, or there are geographical diversities with respect to socio-economic abilities. So basically education has to reach each and every corners of the country and each and every sector, irrespective of the gender, irrespective of the sex, irrespective of the caste. So that is the basic motto of having a gender inclusion fund. Then there will be a focus on special education zones, which will be created specifically for physically disabled people, so that they will be also able to take the education at par with the other students. And there will be definitely an emphasis on student representation in decision making with respect to setting up of the curriculum, decision making with respect to having different parameters for rating in terms of education, and decision making with respect to various policies that will be set up. So this is the focus of national education policy. Then from a faculty perspective, or an educator's perspective rather, how the policy has established the norms. So with respect to recruitment process, this is applicable to the recruitment in schools as well as higher educations, which includes the professional organizations as well. The recruitment will be transparent, it will be independent, and basically the recruitment will be non-transferable. Once a faculty or an educator is appointed, that particular appointment, it will be non-transferable. With respect to the duties, the faculties or educators will be there will be an emphasis to interact with students, which definitely is done now, but there will be more emphasis on it. Then more of emphasis will be given to also conduct research and other university or institute related activities. The faculties or educated will be expected to do their basic duties, and they will be incentivized based on the kind of research they are doing. So that is one additional motivation even from a faculty perspective. And then definitely another important thing is they will be given a freedom to design the pedagogy and set the assessment tools. Then when we talk of teacher education, that is training the trainer, as we also said, a new and comprehensive national curriculum framework for teachers, which is also called as NCFTE 2021. This will be established. Basically, this framework will be categorized into different sectors, different areas of education, and every area of education will be having a subcategory where the type of curriculum that will be delivered for that particular sector will be common. So this will result in uniform acceptable standards of education. And the for the recruitment of the teachers, they will have to undertake a national eligibility test, which will be conducted by the National Testing Authority. Then there are some norms also for the PhD candidates, that credit-based courses in teaching, education, and pedagogy related subjects will be provided to PhD candidates. They also will be offered teaching assistantships. Teaching assistantship, even now it is offered in some institutes, but since it will be coming through a national framework, it will be given to all institutes. Institutes will have to adopt this particular policy. Then there will be a mentoring mission, through which a national mission for mentoring will be established, wherein the teachers at various levels in their career, they will be mentored with respect to upgrading their knowledge and skills. Then when we talk with respect to vocational skills, as Mushtaq sir has rightly said, that one of the aspects of national education policy is to also focus on the vocational education. So these are some of the sorry, norms for vocational education, enforcing the national skill quality framework. So this national skill qualification framework, basically it focuses on providing vocational education, that is skills that are the first hand skills which you require at the job. So this particular qualification framework will focus on identifying the first hand skill, and also imparting additional skills to a particular student or a person, so that that person can enter into the job market, and he will be able to also enhance his skills for further career enhancements. It also aims at providing exposure to vocational education without any limit on the entry and exit levels. Then definitely there will be collaboration with Indian Institute of Technologies and polytechnics and local industries, so that the students or the people, they acquire those vocational skills more with a practical and an applicability point of view. Then short term courses will be introduced on the various vocational skills, and this will be done through the development of a platform which is called as the Lok Vidya. So that is the concept that has been put forward by the national education policy. Then when we talk of professional education, with respect to professional education like pharmacy, this is a professional course. So such courses like pharmacy or medical or engineering, which are part of, which you call them as technological as well as the professional courses, an emphasis will be given on development of clusters or universities in a particular geographical area. So this will help in controlling the uniformity, controlling the various parameters which are associated with the academics, which are associated with the administrative level, as well as the kind of research that is conducted in professional education systems. Because a major difference between the conventional education systems and the professional education systems is the professional education systems, they have a high demand or a more focus on skills with respect to technology or skills with respect to research. So if a cluster or a independent department is created, there will be more uniform regulation of the various aspects of academics as well as research. Then standalone technical universities. So yes, this is something which the NEP has focused on, that it will be now promoting the concept of having standalone technical universities, which in today in our country, yes, there are some standalone universities, but they are very few in number. So more emphasis will be given on having standalone professional and technical universities. Then having constitutional values of justice, having multiple skill development skills by providing them through the professional education platform. And then definitely when we talk with respect to technical education, since pharmacy is one of the important aspect of technical education, when it comes to technical education, the national education policy has provided major emphasis on these three areas. The first area is in the area of 3D printing, then the area of big data analysis, and yes, of course, the area of machine learning. So more emphasis will be given for technological institutes or technical institutes to have their research in these areas, because these are some of the areas which are having a wider scope in the current decade, and definitely these are the areas which the government is also focusing on right now. Then when it comes to streamlining PhDs and degrees with research, one advantage through the NEP policy will be that students may be able to directly apply for PhD either after completing their masters, as is done in the current policy, or after their 4 years of bachelor's. So that is again an added advantage, that integrated PhD option will be made possible. Then as a continuation to that point, yes, there will be a discontinuity of the requirement for a master's degree. It will not be necessary to do a master's degree if you have to opt for PhD. Then there will be creation of a degree with research, which will be awarded to students on completing a rigorous research project in their major areas of study, and those areas of study will be as specified by the higher education institute. So this is another something, a unique concept which has come up through the NEP policy, that creation of a degree with research, so that you can take up a research in any particular discipline which will be specified by that particular higher education authority, and need not be called as the doctorate degree, but yes, it will be a degree in a specialized area. Then when we talk with the regulation system of higher education, as Mushtaq sir had also mentioned, that right now if we look at the current scenario with respect to regulatory system in our country, there are many different regulatory bodies which are governing the functions of different institutes and overall the education framework. So specifically when we talk with respect to pharmacy, we as a pharmacy institute, we have to abide to the norms which are laid down by All India Council for Technical Education, as well as Pharmacy Council of India, as well as the Directorate of Technical Education, that is DT. And since we are affiliated to a university, we have to also abide by the norms of the university. So as a institute, when you are there to foster education and research, when you have to abide by all of these regulatory bodies, it becomes a Herculean task. So one unique aspect of NEP is that it talks of having only one body. So there will be only one national higher education regulatory body. There will be only one education council which will govern the regulatory system, which will be called as a General Education Council. So this will result in effective and good governance. Then with respect to accreditation, so accreditation is something where a institute and the programs that are offered by that institute, they are ranked on the basis of the targets that they had set, and what are the steps or achievements, what are their achievements in terms of the target set with respect to the academics, with respect to the governance, and with respect to the overall growth, fostering also the industrial collaboration and research. So right now, again, in our country, there are more than one such accreditation authorities. So as an institute, you have to abide by the norms that are laid down by each and every accreditation framework. Either it is for the institute and also for the courses. So one, again, a unique policy of National Education Drive is that they have come up with a concept of having a national accreditation authority. So there will be only one authority which will give ranking or accreditate the institutes based on their academic and research capabilities. So this is a major transformation, especially for the higher education setup. Then when we again talk with respect to the apex body, the National Education Policy talks of having only one advisory apex body for Indian education. So earlier it was Ministry of Human Resource and Development, and which had various sub-departments. Now it will be the Ministry of Education, which will serve for the Indian education, and this is a single overarching umbrella body, and this body will be having a sub component or the major component which is called as the Central Advisory Board of Education. So all the decisions with respect to setting up educational policies and reforming the norms and giving the amendments, they will be done by the Central Advisory Board of Education, which is also called as the Rashtriya Shiksha Ayog or the Rajya Shiksha Ayog. So again, that is something which is really a big transformation with respect to our education system. Now, as Mushtaq sir had also rightly said, that national education policy also emphasizes on something which is called as a national research foundation. So the purpose of this national research foundation will be basically again to foster innovation and research by identifying the various sectors wherein research and innovation is the need of the hour or need of the decade. So this National Research Foundation, it has been already set up. Yes, but its mechanism or its processes, they are still in the process of development. So what will be the core focus of National Research Foundation? It will be focusing on advancing core research in core areas as well as applied areas, then advancing international research efforts to address the global challenges through setting up platforms like internationalism of education, that is setting up campuses outside our country, which will also foster international collaborations as well as research, and then developing and deploying application based research. So that would be the main focus of National Research Foundation, and the key areas on which this National Research Foundation will focus include healthcare, agriculture, as well as environment, that is the climate change. Then NEP also talks of use of technology and how to integrate it in various areas. So the first focus of NEP with respect to use of technology is creation of National Education Technology Forum. So what will be the role of this National Education Technology Forum? From time to time, the National Education Technology Forum will try to identify from the various technical institutes that which are the core areas in which they are doing research at a maximum level, and it will try to abstract those research and provide a national forum so that those kind of research areas, they will be provided with some additional support from the government, and they can be taken ahead. Then definitely through national education policy, there will be an emphasis on mathematical and computational thinking right from a young age. So a student right from his schooling, he will be familiarized with the concepts of coding, with the use of advanced computational skills, so that they become very well technology savvy, and by the time they come to their higher education state, they are well versed with the basics, which will be able to make use of these basic knowledge in applied research. Okay. Then how has NEP adopted the emerging technology? It will be doing this in a nutshell through these three frameworks. That is, as I had explained in the earlier slide, the National Education Technology Forum will be set up. This National Educational Technology Forum will categorize the emergent technologies based on their potential. And which are these areas? These are nothing but 3D printing, machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, simulation. So these areas will be identified. The Ministry of Education will recommend to the National Research Foundation that of these different sectors, which are those sectors that are really identified and they have a potential of research, and hence the ministry has to support them by providing research funds, and then only those areas and sectors will be supported through research funds by the National Research Foundation. So this is how these three bodies, they will work in an unison. Okay, so the focus of National Research Foundation, it will not be just disbursement of funds at different times by inviting applications, but rather it will go by a Z2A approach, where the different sectors or research areas will be first identified. They will be recommended by the ministry, and then the National Research Foundation will be supporting these sectors to take the research ahead. So in a nutshell, what we talked of the national education policy, we have to also look from the other perspective. That is, in all this scenario or the development of the national education policy, what is the role of higher education institutes? Like our pharmacy college, it is one of the higher education institutes. We have so many institutes in nearby areas. So as a higher education institute, when you look at the national education policy, what will be your role? Or you, since you are part or a major stakeholder of these institutes, you should be aware that in the overall setting up of this national education policy, how does the higher education institute look at it? So the first and foremost role is the HEIs. They play an active role in conducting research on various by providing various instructional materials, by including online courses and assessing the different types of online courses and the different teaching pedagogies. Then the HEIs, they will also conduct targeted training for job readiness, and they will address the skilling and the dealing and scale keeping. They will basically lead in disruptive technologies, identifying the disruptive technologies. The universities will aim to offer PhD and master's program in core areas like machine learning, as well as multidisciplinary fields and professional areas like healthcare, agriculture, and law. So the major focus or the major role of HEI will be to transform the existing teaching pedagogy in terms of curricular and assessment, then to conduct targeted training through vocational and professional courses, and to foster the culture of research and innovation by providing PhD and master's degree in various sectors. Then when we look from a student perspective, what do you have in this national education policy, especially from a student perspective and especially from an innovation perspective? So innovation and national education policy, they go hand in hand. As I made the first statement that I made to you, that the prime focus of national education policy is to foster the culture of creativity and innovation within students through these various attempts or various approaches. Now there are some challenges in doing so, and yes, there are various opportunities. We look at the challenges. The most important challenge is, yes, to changing the mindset of the stakeholders. So who are the stakeholders for this national education policy? The stakeholders are we. The stakeholders are you as students. The stakeholders are your parents. The stakeholders are the different educators. So changing a mindset, because these policies will be applicable right from the schooling age till the time you pass out from your graduation or higher studies. So changing a mindset and adopting the changing curriculum, that is something which definitely this policy has a major challenge, and that is why the timeline has been set up as 2035. The transformation will be seen, so because the policy will be implemented in a step by step manner, you cannot just adopt it in one day. Another important challenge is with respect to implementing and transformation of the existing system. So, as I told you, yes, it will happen in a step by step process. But there are various opportunities for you as students, especially with respect to innovation, because the policy talks of having platforms like Diksha. That is a national repository of unlimited resources will be available for you to do the literature search in any area. Then yes, having platforms like open digital learning and national open schools, so education or getting educated will not be a barrier. So you can do your innovations at any and every stage and from any place. Then having internationalism of education, that is Indian institutes will be given a chance to set up the campuses outside, so this will foster international collaborations and research. And yes, the policy also emphasizes on setting up incubation centers and technology development parks. We do have these incubation centers and technology development parks, but all universities, all colleges in the nation, they have not adopted it, maybe because they are not that much aware of it. But yes, because of the initiative of Ministry of Education to set up Institutional Innovation Council, today in our nation, more than 4,000 institute innovation councils have been set up, and there are many incubation centers who have been running. IITs have been having this since past more than 1 decade or so, and then the other institutes, they are also adopting the national innovation and startup policy, and they are in the process of setting up these incubation centers. So these are the opportunities for students. And yes, most importantly, the national education policy focuses on having an holistic approach towards the professional development, towards education systems, the standards of education, and the regulation of the overall education system. So, with this, I would like to end my talk, and I will just make one statement that happy getting educated, because education, it is not a one stop process, it is a continuous process throughout your lifetime. And yes, happy being innovative, because you have to be innovative in each and every step of your life. And we as teachers would definitely like to see our students as job creators as well. So happy getting innovated as well as educated. So, with this, I would like to end my talk, and I would like to thank our President, Dr. Mushtaque Shaikh, and our advisor, Dr. Anil Kumar Gandhi, for giving me an opportunity to present my talk in front of you. Thank you.
Yes, thank, thank you, Mushtaque sir and Anita madam, for briefing us on a current trending topic, national education policy and its relevance to higher education. So this is really a great takeaway from your session, whatever you have conducted. So dear viewers, thank you for attending today's session on innovative topics, and we are expecting wholehearted and enthusiastic participation for upcoming session on 19th December from staff and students of BPharm as well as MPharm on a topic orientation session on National Innovation and Startup Policy, that is NISP, by Dr. Anil Kumar Gandhi. And another session will be on identifying intellectual property component at the early stage of innovation, such as copyrights, design rights, trademarks, trade secrets, by Ms. Pallavi Kharkar, madam. One more time, thank you very much to all of you as a wonderful audience. Grateful to supporting staff and IIC committee members for all necessary technical support to make this session live on YouTube and other social media sites. We propose you to share link of today's session to interested candidates and students in your circle to cover a large audience and spread the cause. Also, don't forget to mark your attendance sharing live chat of our YouTube channel. See you in next session. Have a nice time. Have a nice day.
I would request Dr. Binay Pereira to please propose a vote of thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So, as we come to the end of day 2 of the certificate course on entrepreneurship, on behalf of the Institute Innovation Council, I take this opportunity to extend our heartfelt thanks to our speakers for today's sessions, Mr. Amit Lokhande, Dr. Mushtaq sir, and Anita Ayre madam. Every initiative that we are taking through this certificate course is the fruit of constant support and motivation that we receive from our respected principal madam, our trustee in charge Gulani sir, and Professor Jharna Das madam. They have been like our batteries who constantly charge us with zeal and enthusiasm and help us to initiate and plan new activities. We are also very grateful to our mentor, Dr. Anil Kumar Gandhi sir, who constantly guides us, our technical staff, who are always there to help us to arrange all sessions online, our Institute Innovation Council members, who always extend their support, our faculty members, non-teaching staff members who help us, and last but not the least, I thank you all our participants for making this session a success. I'm sure this has been an enriching experience so far, and we look forward to see you again on 19 December. So thank you once again and take care. Over to you, Mushtaq sir.
Thank you, everyone. As Madam said, we'll be looking forward to you to join on 19 with us again, and we'll deliberate on further more topics. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Have a safe day, okay, and keep maintaining the social distancing as well as keep yourself healthy. Have a great day.